Alright, it's been a while since I've talked to you guys, but long story short, now I'm in Philadelphia. Yeah. So, when I first got here, I found a place to live. Two, found a job within a half mile or a mile of where I live, and I found a job as a host. Make around $150 a week, but I'm only working like 3 days a week. So that's still $300 every 2 weeks, and if you maintain low overhead like I'm doing, it should be able to get you by at first if you save money from the previous location. Follow 3 simple steps, and if you, I'll explain that again briefly momentarily. Explaining the 3 steps. Okay, so I'm going to go over the 3 steps quickly for anybody's first time watching this video on my philosophy to travel. And all my philosophy is 1, find a place to live, 2, find a job within a mile or half mile of where you live, and 3, do it somewhere awesome. So everything you need is within a few miles, like Philadelphia, Austin, Texas, Venice Beach, California, Tampa, Florida, Colorado. Okay, once you get those 3 things down, you can do the system, and it will. So generally, when I'm traveling, I stay places 6 months to a year, and how this system benefits me is what I do is even a regular I can have any type of job traveling, and I've traveled a lot of places recently, and the reason I can do that is because I maintain low overhead and I follow these 3 simple steps. So generally, in order to travel the way I do, I travel every 6 months to a year. I move, and that in orders me to grow grassroots and have actual solid friends everywhere I travel to. And I actually give back to the community a little bit. When I started out with a thumb and a book bag. But then I kind of learned the science of travel. So let's say you're in Austin, Texas, for example. I was a cashier making $8.50 an hour, but because I followed the 3 simple steps, I was able to maintain low overhead and not need a vehicle. So my goal, even making $8.50 a week, was to save $190 a week, because if you save $190 a week, you will be able to save $5,000 in 6 months, or $10,000 in 1 year. So, let's say you've been in Austin, Texas for 1 year, and you were able to save up close to $10,000. All right, now you're still traveling. You're just traveling a little bit slower. We're all traveling. So you take that money that you saved, and this is what I recently just did to be closer to my family in South Jersey. I moved to Philadelphia. And when I first moved to Philadelphia, I happened to know a friend. I stayed with a friend for a little bit, but I always recommend staying at a hostel for a little bit. So I got to Philadelphia. I found a place to live, and then I found a job hosting fairly quickly. And but I came into a predicament that is inevitable if you're gonna follow my method of travel. And what I recommended in the first video is when you do travel, you stay out of contract. And generally, the best way to do that is to find on Craigslist or go around on your bike, because I recommend having a bicycle. You can maintain low overhead, and you can look for places to rent. I've had my best luck doing that. And you find a building that kind of looks like a leasing office, but doesn't necessarily. Find a building that looks like an apartment building, but doesn't necessarily have a leasing office. And knock on the door and say, "Hey, who's your property manager?" Talk to him or her and discuss renting a no-contract room. It's best while traveling in this way. But now it doesn't really matter to me, because I'm kind of winding. I'm putting my travels to a slow, maybe trying to spend 2 years in Philadelphia, but who knows with me. So I get to Philadelphia, I rent this room. Not a bad room. Not a bad room at all. I make some friends I make some friends. I sing with my friends. I'll show you around. I'm liking it, right? But because it's no contract, my landlord actually got in trouble with the city or something for having too many tenants, and we have to be out in 1 month. So now that I like I like where I'm at, I'm uprooted again, and I'm going to take you with me on that adventure. So I'm stuck at square one again. I'm here, but I have a job, and now I have to find a place to live by November 18th. And it's like October 29th, or almost Halloween. It's crazy. And it's cold. So, moving out. Alright, so that situation happened, and I had to find a new place. So, I literally, right when I found out, I had like 20-something days to get out. So I got on my grind. It's best to have a bicycle, and I just rode around looking, asking people, hey, this might be a weird question, but this is the situation. Do you know anybody that's renting a room? Got some people's numbers that way, made some friends that way. Then also, I mentioned to my coworkers, and actually one coworker was like, you know what, there's this girl that she's looking for a roommate. So it turns out, you'll see the new place. The new place is great, and it's definitely a come up. I found it $450 a month, no contract, all utilities included. Yeah, cut, bye. Moving out. There's some people in the same situation that live in the building, and you know what, they're really struggling because you know, money, and it just sucks, but you gotta be prepared. Life's tough. Wear a helmet. Sudahlah, lepaskan semua. Ku yakin inilah waktunya. Mungkin saja kau bukan yang dulu lagi. Mungkin saja rasa itu telah pergi. Mungkin bila nanti kita akan bertemu lagi. Satu mintaku, jangan kau coba tanyakan kembali rasa yang ku tinggal mati, seperti hari kemarin saat semua di sini. That's what I'm talking about, Canic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Come on, Mike, sing your song.
That's amazing, dude. Honestly amazing.